What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here on NBA 2K25 here for another realistic rebuild. As today I want to do the Charlotte Hornets, man. Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, they've been a ton of fun, and this Hornets team in general, and of course their commentators are a lot of fun too, but they're just a fun team and I want to talk about them. Of course, they just got a massive victory. Well, I guess I really shouldn't say massive, but they got a win over the Pistons in overtime tonight as I'm recording this. But let's go ahead and jump in and do a realistic rebuild of the Charlotte Hornets. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. As I just mentioned, they did just get an overtime victory over the Detroit Pistons. We can go ahead and make sure that is there. Start today works in 2K. It's awesome. But LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, like I said, these two, if I was predicting and what I'd want as a Hornets fan, these two are the future for sure. Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball. Two guys that you want to be a massive part of what you're doing going forward. Of course, you have Trey Mann, you have Miles Bridges alongside that with Cody Martin, Josh Green, Grant Williams. There's some things to like about this, but of course, this team is still quite far away from contending or anything like that. They're a fun team, but there's still a lot to work on. They obviously just drafted Tijon Salon in the lottery. Hasn't made too much of an impact just yet, but for the rest of the season, of course, we're just going to go ahead and simulate and see how we finish out. Of course, it'll help you get Mark Williams and Nick Richards back and healthy to have your center rotation fully healthy, because they've been starting Musa, I think, and they've also started Grant Williams at the 5, I think, at times too. So definitely some things could help once they get healthy. But without further ado, let's simulate the rest of year one. If I do stop the deadline for whatever reason to make a move, I will show you. But I'm not sure I plan on doing anything like that. I'm just going to kind of let this play out for the rest of the season. This video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. If you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is insanely clutch to have to finding good plays right in front of you without having to do any research whatsoever. So if we take a look at the board right now, a little dry, not going to lie. At the moment, there's not a ton of value on the board. But we do we have anything? I guess we have Zubac under 13.5 rebounds and assists, but there is some book support, but not the books I like looking at. Personally, I like to go off FanDuel, Pinnacle, DraftKings, BetOnline's odds. I feel like those are kind of like the books that kind of know what they're talking about. You have Tucker Kraft under 3.5 reception. So yeah, not a ton of value on the board. Do we have anything on like Underdog? Let's go take a look at that really quickly. So Damian Lillard under 7.5 assists. Pinnacle is already listing this at -125. And then BetMGM -150, Bet Online at -133. So not a ton of value on the board at the moment, but trust me, as the days go by, and of course when there's a ton of NBA games on, this thing is just lit up like a Christmas tree. It's crazy. Finding a ton of value every single night when I bet on sports. So make sure to check it out. Links down in the description below. Use code Crushables for a percentage off your first month. Other than that, let's get back to the rebuild. So, of course, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Jared McCain does end up winning Rookie of the Year in the Start Today simulation, which is cool. I actually just did a poll yesterday about whether or not you guys thought it'd be Dalton Connect or Jared McCain. Someone did mention Zachary Shea as well. That definitely could happen, but McCain and Dalton Connect have by far been the best rookies thus far to start the season. Kate Cunningham most improved, and clutch player goes to Jason Tatum. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, All-NBA third, All-Defensive first team, and All-Defensive second team. So we end up, of course, not in the playoffs, so nothing to really look at here. But looking at the player stats, you had 27 from LaMelo, 17.5 from Brandon Miller, 15 from Miles Bridges, and 13 from Trey Mann. So let's summate these playoffs. And let's see who goes on to win the championship. Why do the Raptors always like kind of low-key go far? Like they almost like beat the Knicks in 7 in the first round, which has been wild. Minnesota kind of struggling thus far to start the season. They beat the Celtics in 5, but they're like right around 500 at the moment, man. I know they just made a trade before the season started, but definitely struggling a tad bit. I wouldn't feel great if I was a Minnesota fan, but there is time to turn it around. So player retirements, LeBron James, and of course everyone else retiring. I think LeBron, of course, retires probably next year, not after this season, but I think the next season he probably will end up retiring. So our pick is going to end up in the top 3. Hopefully, we're projected to be in the top 3, and it ends up at number 4. So it's still a really good draft class. If we can find a way to get Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg, obviously as well. I prefer not to draft Cooper Flagg. I feel like I've just gotten him in so many videos at this point that. Of course, you want him, but I don't think I'll get him at number 4 anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue. But let's take a look at, so 4-2, 5-24, and I don't think there's like anybody I'm like dying to get rid of. So let's just go ahead and draft here. So number 1 is going to be Cooper Flagg, New Orleans. Number 2, probably, Dylan Harper goes. Okay, so number 3 is going to be, I was kind of hoping Ace Bailey would fall to me, but of course we don't get that lucky. So I'm not going to take the guard. I haven't taken this center in quite some time. While we do have Mark Williams, we could take like, Hugo as well. You take Liam. I did just get him in yesterday's video, though. So to me, it's between Hugo or this center right here. I don't know how to say his name. Someone needs to tell me how to say this guy's name. Or I just need to figure it out, because I say this every video where I'm like, I don't know how to say his name. I need to get that figured out. I'm not taking Nolan Troyori today because I've gotten him in a few videos. VJ Edgecombe. So do I want Hugo or do I want this center? Honestly, I think Hugo's probably the better selection, because that gives us a long-term starting 2 going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and take Hugo, because we do have Richards and Mark Williams already as it is. So as cool as the center would have been, don't get me wrong, I actually am okay with that. I'm going to take Carter Knox in round 2 at Arkansas, and that will be our draft. So assistant GM takes Jaron Stevenson, and we also get Hunter Salas. We'll accept all those. So massive draft haul there. Mitchich will decline. Daquan Jeffries will decline as well. Trey Mann and KJ Simpson are both free agents. Definitely have interest in bringing both of them back. And then for free agency, we have Trey Mann, Seth Curry, Jared Rodent, and I don't know how to say his name, but of course is playing a role for Charlotte right now. So we got LaMelo as the point guard. We got Brandon Miller, which we will definitely slide Brandon Miller now to small forward, because Hugo will start at the 2. So Brandon Miller will go back to his more natural position at that 2 spot. We'll make a secondary position shooting guard though. So LaMelo Ball, Hugo will start with Nick Smith backing him up. You'll have Brandon Miller, either Josh Green or Cody Martin backing him up. Miles Bridges, Grant Williams, and then Richards and Mark Williams. Richards, Mark Williams. So that looks good. I like that a lot. So the one thing we just need to do is re-sign Trey Mann, and we should be good to go for next season already. So Trey Mann, I'm going to sign to a nice little deal. So I'm feeling good about that. And I will go ahead and get Musa as well. Don't know what his future will be for the Hornets, but again, he's playing a nice little role right now for them. So I'm going to bring him back. And then KJ Simpson, who's a player who obviously isn't part of the rotation like that, but still a player I'm going to bring back on his qualifying offer. So that should be our offseason. And then Brandon Miller's up to an 86 on Melo. So that's great. So to me, it's all about, how much this team develops. So we're going to move. Yeah, Trey Mann's already listed back at point guard. So we have a full rotation. Nick Smith went up to a 77, which is great too. In previous 2Ks, this guy has developed like crazy. So that's something that could definitely happen for us once again. But Miles Bridges, to me, will not be the long-term power forward, at least in this video. I'll probably end up moving him or a different position there, whether it's a different power. Actually, it'll probably have to be a different power forward, because I feel locked in with Mark Williams going forward and Nick Richards at our center rotation. Obviously, Brandon Miller's going to start for the foreseeable future. Probably Josh Green with backing him up too. Nick Smith and Hugo, shooting guard, then obviously Melo and Trey Mann. So to me, the only thing I really want to replace is the power forward spot, because I really like where we're at with everything else. Unless, of course, things just continue to fall down and we don't ever really make any progression towards winning a championship, then we can start to make some major changes. But we do have to cut a couple players, unfortunately, and then Tijon Solana hasn't even inserted himself in the rotation just yet, which I totally forgot about. We're gonna go ahead. I guess we're gonna have to cut Hunter Salas, unfortunately, and probably Stevenson, unless there's anybody else that's an obvious cut. No, I think we're gonna have to cut both our second round picks, unfortunately. I'd rather just two-way them. I know there's sometimes an option in 2K, and sometimes it just doesn't give you that option at all. But regardless, we're going to go into year number 2. And I'm going to see if I get Tijon Solana in the rotation. Almost completely glossed over and forgot about what his role could be for us going forward. I don't really know how much he develops in 2K. I've never really paid attention to see how much he goes up overall for the Charlotte Hornets. But I guess we'll find out today as we go through the video. If I move to small forward, I don't know if he'll go up at all, but let's take a look. So he is listed at power forward at 74 overall. He goes up to a 76 at small forward, because I kind of do want him to play a role here. So it's gonna be LaMelo. They want to start Nick Smith, which I guess is fine, but I kind of want to start Hugo right away. So LaMelo Ball, Nick Smith, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, Trey Mann, Nick Richards, Grant Williams, Cody Martin, and KJ Simpson. So that leaves Solana and Hugo out of the rotation completely. So to me, this is what we're gonna run with. So it's gonna be LaMelo. Maybe I'm starting Hugo. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start Hugo Gonzalez right away. I don't want to necessarily move. So then, all right, how are we going to do this? So who's going to be the one that's sitting out? It's either Nick Smith or Solana. I mean, it might even have to be both of them. For now, it's going to be both of them. I definitely want to change that as quickly as possible. So if there is a move at the deadline, I will show you. But there is 2 guys I really want to play. But, I could bench Cody Martin, but he is the vet. And it's realistically, I think he'd play, obviously. So I don't want to bench him just yet. So we'll figure it out as we get to the deadline, though. But we definitely have a really good future going. I don't know if we'll make the playoffs this year, but we definitely should make a step in the next direction of being better than last year. I hope, at least. So we are starting the trade deadline, and we are going to sell some pieces off here. First one being Cody Martin. We're going to send him to Denver for a second-round pick. We're also getting Zeke Naji, who might have a role in the future for us. But for now, I'm just kind of looking at getting Cody Martin out of here so we can play some other guys. And then the next guy we're going to sell off is going to be Miles Bridges. I was kind of thinking about like using him as part of a bigger trade, but I honestly think just trading him for a pick or two is probably the better thing to go about with this, because I want to see Tijon Salon play a lot this season for the rest of the year. But get rid of, obviously, Cody Martin and then Miles Bridges. That inserts, of course, not Nick Richards, but Nick Smith. And then, of course, also Tijon Salon to play. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. But let's, and we're also not very good. We're 18-33 still. So we're still not like towards contention or playoff spot or anything like that. So Miles Bridges, 2 years left in his contract. I know he could probably be a big part of the Hornets' future. But for me, I think selling him off and letting these other younger players play is probably the better way to go about things. As long as I get a first-round pick for him, I think I can rock with that. So Vucevic, no thank you. Strus, Drew Holiday, Norm Powell, Marcus Smart in a second. Now, if that was a first, I'd do it. But no, it's not. Sexton, OG, that's not going to happen ever. Goga Badotste, Chris Middleton, Jamal Murray. No, these are some weird offers. Okay, so Trey Murphy. I know the Pelicans aren't doing that in a million years. Dylan Brooks. Ooh, Keldon Johnson. All right, what else we got? Nothing. I don't like any of these trades so far. Anthony is interesting, but I don't think Portland does that either. And then Draymond we can get Draymond Green in return. We get a first round pick. That's interesting, I guess, but kind of weird. All right, I don't mind this trade with Cleveland, but I kind of want a first if I'm going to do this. So Strus and Dean Wade are two guys that wouldn't play for us very much at all. It sucks to throw KJ Simpson in here, but it is what it is. So if I can get a first round pick, I would do it. Let's see what if you give me a 20-30 unprotected for this, I'll do this trade. Let's see what they say to that. And hopefully I don't counter with another. So they want Carter Knox. They'll give me Georges Niang. I guess we could do this. So, wait, wasn't Carter Knox a first round pick? We need to think about this. No, he was a second round pick. Sure. We get the first round pick for, well, I don't know. I don't know if I should be in the business of giving up another young player. So I'm going to throw one of these. I'm going to throw my second in here, even though I really shouldn't have to in this scenario, but we are anyway. Let's see if that makes a difference. They're probably still going to ask for, nope, just another second. So we get an unprotected pick for Miles Bridges. Unfortunately, we do have to throw KJ Simpson here, which I don't feel great about, but I don't think he'll really ever play for us anyway. So we're going to get the first round pick for Miles Bridges. Max Strus in, of course. And then Strus's contract could be valuable as an expiring asset to eventually make like a bigger move. So I don't mind that at all. But at the end of the day, the goal is, and Zeke Nnaji's salary. So we got a couple salaries that could be thrown together eventually. But the goal at the end of the day was to get Hugo, or not Hugo, it was to get Tijon Salon and Nick Smith minutes. That's kind of what I wanted to do with that. So Tijon Salon is going to play over Strus. So that's what we're going to do there. So I don't have any business in playing Max Strus. So Salon is the guy I wanted to play. And I'm low-key going to start him at the power forward spot for the rest of the season. So that's what we're going to rock with. We'll see that, how that works out with him. So we're going to play our lottery pick, and we got what we want going forward, and we'll see how well it goes. So this is our young starting lineup. I want to start Nick Richards over Mark Williams, but I am going to start Mark Williams, of course. All right, I like it. Let's simulate the rest of the season and see how things finish out. So another MVP award for Luka Doncic, and here are the rest of your awards. So, of course, we did not make the playoffs again, and we don't get LaMelo to make an All-NBA team or anything along the lines of that. But I do want to up the aggressiveness, coming this offseason. Let's take a look at the player stats. So you had 22 from LaMelo, 18 from Brandon Miller, 12 from Trey Mann, and 11 from Hugo. Max Strus with 11. Of course, not going to play a massive role, but yeah, so Max Strus's contract becomes expiring, I think, this offseason, which is massive. Then Grant Williams will as well. So we have like a couple of expiring contracts we can throw together to go after someone massive if we wanted to. We got a first-round pick from Cleveland. We still have the Miami first from the Rozier trade. So a lot of ammunition, a lot of expiring salary, and there's maybe something we can do. So Raptors go on to win it all, by the way. Very interesting. But here are your retirements, and then we are going to have our lottery pick as well. I don't know exactly what the projections were on this selection, but we are projected. I'm sure it's like top 10 protected at least, or top 8 protected. It projected to be in the top 4, and it ends up at number 6. So again, I'm pretty positive that the Hornets pick is obviously protected again in the year 2026. We're going to go get that pick back from the Spurs, which is great. Going to keep Charles Lee as the head coach. I want to have him continue to grow with this team. But once I get that pick back from the Spurs, I am curious to see, because we're not going to be able to draft AJ, Boozer, Peterson. They're all going to be gone. We could get like Caleb Wilson. But just because LaMelo has been in the league for a while now, he's already on his new contract, and we haven't really had any postseason success at all. This team has gotten to play in twice with them, and they got like beat bad both times. So I'm sure LaMelo was kind of sick of not being in that postseason position. I know he's had some ankle problems as well, but I do think it might be time to up the aggressiveness. And with all the expiring salaries we have and the ammunition, maybe we can make him pull a trigger for a massive move on draft night. Let's see what we can do. Well, the idea of it sounded cool. Looking at every position, it just didn't really make sense to go after anybody that I saw, or they're an expiring contract right now, so we can't make that trade. So we might have to wait. Maybe we could do like some sign and trade in free agency. So let's just go ahead and draft with our 6th overall pick. So Boozer goes to the Knicks. AJ goes to Oklahoma City. That's terrifying. Darren Peterson to San Antonio. Harrelson to Houston. And then you got Koa to LA. So we either get Darius or Caleb Wilson. So obviously, I think I got both of these guys in the Blazers video. And we might have to take them again, obviously. So, I mean, either way, I guess Caleb Wilson would probably be the better pick for us, considering we do need a power forward for the future. So Caleb Wilson is going to be the pick, placing Miles Bridges. And I'll let my assistant GM take care of whoever else there. So I'm going to look at free agency, though, and kind of see if there's anybody there that makes sense, because we could maybe try to pull off a sign and trade. Mark Williams obviously is the guy we want back. I mean, maybe we can't get an upgrade the power forward spot, and we just have to accept that. Luka would be crazy, but I don't want Luka. So like Paulo Banchero, for instance, that would be wild to pull off, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. There's no way Orlando would ever let Paulo Banchero go, but it would be wild to pull something like that off. You do have Chet Holmgren down here as well, but OKC's going to keep him. Jaren Jackson, I've gotten him a few times. The other one I thought was Marketing, but I've gotten him so many times I just don't even like the idea of that either. Jabari is interesting too, I guess. Like, gives us kind of a power forward option. I don't mind that. And he hasn't been that great in Houston. So, I mean, do we even have the money to just offer him outright? No, we don't. We don't have the money to offer him outright. So, like, if Houston brought him back and the Blazers are offering him an offer sheet, I wonder to see if Houston will match that. But yeah, so like Jabari is interesting, I guess. And then Orlando is crazy as well. Like, again, them trading Paul Banchero makes no sense. But, weird crap happens all the time. And for whatever reason, he wanted out of I'm trying to justify it. It doesn't make any sense, man. Like, I just can't. I just can't get there. It doesn't make any sense. Unless of a massive collapse happens with their relationship, I don't think, Orlando is going to be in the business of trading Paul Banchero right after his rookie contract. It happened with Porzingis, don't get me wrong, but more often than not, stuff like that just does not happen. So maybe we have to take this to the deadline and reevaluate there, which is fine too. So we got, of course, LaMelo, Trey Mann, that's still fine. Nick Smith, Hugo. Brandon Miller, Max Strus, who's not going to play a massive role, but just drafted Caleb Wilson, Salon, and Grant Williams are here. We have a bunch of center depth as well. So again, as much as I wanted to do something this offseason, make some kind of crazy move, it's just not there, and I'm not going to force it. So player progression, Brandon Miller, 89, 81 Tijon Salon, 81 Nick Smith, 81 Hugo Gonzalez, 81 Trey Mann, and then 79 Josh Green. So everyone's developing. Even Carter Knox is down here developing. We have the ammunition to do whatever we want. I mean, it's there. If we're good enough at the deadline, and I feel like there's a move to be made to ultimately make us a contender, to make LaMelo a happy player here, we got to do it. So that is going to be the game plan, as long as there's a option that makes sense, which hopefully there is, because like I said, I really wanted to do something this offseason, but I don't want to force it, and I don't want it to make no sense at all either. So hopefully, with that all being said, you can get behind me with that thought process, and we'll see how we are at the deadline. We're going to run a 50 bench utilization for this season. So it'll be LaMelo. You want to start Nick Smith still. So Nick Smith, Brandon Miller, Tijon Salon, Mark Williams, Hugo off the bench, Trey Mann, Josh Green, Nick Richards, and Grant Williams. That leaves Strus, Caleb Wilson out of the rotation for now, and Knox. Okay, so we'll see how we are doing by the deadline, and hopefully there is a guy that's available that makes a ton of sense for us to make the move for. I don't care what position it is. Probably won't be point guard, small forward. But if there's something there, we got to make the move. We're at the trade deadline as promised, as we're 28-22 on the season at the current moment. And, well, I've kind of scanned the league, and there's a few guys Orlando's interesting, but they're rebuilding, and they're good enough to be in the Eastern Conference race. So I'm not going to make a trade with them, but obviously Paulo, like I said, would be amazing. So these are the three teams looking at. So Phoenix is selling, and they obviously have Devin Booker, they have Durant, they have Beal, but we don't want Beal. It's, to me, it's Devin Booker is the grand prize here if we go for this. So Devin Booker would be the guy to go for here. Or the other two options, which it'll probably be between this team and Phoenix. So Milwaukee with Giannis Antetokounmpo, or do we want to grab Boston's Jaylen Brown? I did just get Jason Tatum recently, so I don't think I'm going to go for Tatum. I got Jason Tatum in the Jazz video. So do we want Giannis or do we want Devin Booker? Well, I think Giannis probably gives us the better chance. And to me, I think obviously with the way Milwaukee has started the season, doesn't mean they won't turn it around, obviously. But Giannis could become available. Whether or not Giannis would want to come to Charlotte, obviously, probably not. But if they're this bad, I mean, at the deadline, I think Giannis requests that trade, right? And we have an up-and-coming team at 28 and 22. LaMelo, of course, has been here long enough. Giannis, gives us a chance to go on to win it all. But do we have the trade package for him is the question. Well, let's find out. I'm going to go talk to Milwaukee. He is an expiring salary after the season because he's more than likely to decline that. But to me, this is worth it trying to go for it. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is the guy we're going to go after here. So we're going to have to give up quite a bit to make this happen, but I am down for that. So Max Strus's contract, obviously going to have to throw some rotational pieces in here. So Josh Green's going to start this off. Yeah, this is going to get expensive. I don't even know if I can make an actual trade happen, but we're going to try. So Nick Smith and Hugo, I'm going to try to keep out of the trade for now. Caleb Wilson as an asset is going to have to be in here, unfortunately. But that's fine. I mean, he's never going to play if we get Giannis in here anyway. Or he'd come off the bench, don't get me wrong. But he wouldn't be like a, obviously massive piece. All right, so now we probably need Max Strus salary in here. So that, makes the money work. But we're going to have to throw in some so Caruso, who's not worth anything right now. Luke Cornett. Okay, so Josh Green, Caleb Wilson, Gray Williams, Max Strus. Does this get it done? I don't know. So this Miami Heat, yeah, this probably won't get it done if I had to guess. Probably not enough. Yeah. So it might be Devin Booker time because I don't think we're going to have enough to make this happen. So we need $14 more million in this trade. We have to, Salon might have to be thrown in here as well, which I guess isn't the, worst idea in the world. So maybe it's Trey Mann thrown in here as, the other, and Saban Lee will offer a first. So if this can't go through, I don't think we're going to be able to make this happen. So they don't agree. So yeah, that's probably the best we could have thrown at them. So we won't do it for Giannis, or, I'll try to see if there's anything else we can throw in here, but I highly doubt it. Nah, not really. I mean, we could throw Hugo in here, I guess, too. But then we'd be gutting our whole rotation. So, this would be a lot to give up for Giannis Antetokounmpo. We'd be going for it. We'd give up a lot of our youth. And I'm not sure that's the right way to go about things. So I'm going to go ahead and hold off from this. I don't think this is the best way to go. You do form a big three with Brandon Miller. I mean, if we trade all this, we're left with what? Melo Ball, Brandon Miller, Mark Williams. We'll have Nick Smith as starting shooting guard. You'll have Strus still, I guess, a rotational piece. Carter Knox, who's developing in the background too. Yeah, I just can't get there. So I'm going to probably pivot to Devin Booker, I guess. And let's see if we can get him for easier. Devin Booker and LaMelo Ball backcourt sounds pretty fun to me. So Caleb Wilson probably still have to be in the trade. I'm going to remove Salon. We're going to need $8 more million in here. And then let's throw... not Trey Mann. Let's throw Strus in here. Try to get away with our bummy players who aren't playing much. And then you can give me Hall Beasley and Garrison or that's still not enough. Okay, we got to throw one more player in here. And Gee. Okay, so Josh Green, Caleb Wilson, Graham is a first, and then this, maybe our future first. Does this get us Devin Booker? It doesn't. Wow. So we may not be able to get either of them, which is all right. So we're gonna have to give up a little bit more than this. So Max Strus can't be the trade piece. What about Trey Mann? Does that make a difference? No, it does not. Okay, so no Trey Mann. Do we throw Salon in here? I mean, I guess we can throw Hugo in here for doing this trade because I don't know if Hugo will play a massive part going forward. So as much as I like Hugo, for getting Devin Booker, D-Book is going to play the massive role here, and they agree. So we get Devin Booker. So we're going for it. We get Devin Booker. So now we have LaMelo Ball, Devin Booker, Brandon Miller, Salon, Mark Williams, Nick Smith, Trey Mann, Nick Richards, and Max Strus as your rotation. So that is fine. We'll actually even run this to a 9-man rotation. The D-Book, LaMelo Ball backcourt. I mean, this is our way of going for it to try to go win it all for Charlotte. Hopefully a D-Book acquisition pays off. We traded Hugo to make it happen. Hopefully, like I said, it pays off in the long run, but we'll find out if I made a mistake or not. So at the end of the season, Shea wins MVP, Boozer's your Rookie of the Year in the New York Knicks jersey, and Sixth Man as well. Defensive player goes to Wemby, Carter Bryant, Most Improved, and Tyler Hero's Clutch Player, and Chris Finch is your Coach of the Year. So here's your NBA first team. Do we get LaMelo or Devin Booker? No, none of them. So neither one of them make it. We give up a lot to Phoenix to make ourselves better in the playoffs with Devin Booker and LaMelo. And, of course, Brandon Miller alongside them as well. So 26 from D-Book, 22 from LaMelo, 19 from Brandon Miller, 11 from Nick Smith, 11 from Tijon Salon, and 11 and 10 from Mark Williams. So without further ado, this is where we'll find out if what we did pays off or not. So game one will be first round will be Orlando, which they have a tough team. So this is going to be a tough matchup. But hopefully we don't get bounced around one after making the acquisition for Devin Booker. We got ourselves a very tough series to start things off. We are an even series, but this is a massive game 5. We got to win it. Losing this is not an option, in my opinion. So we are going to win game 5, which is huge. And now let's go to this game 6. So game 6 in Orlando to get to the second round at the very least and not get bounced around 1 as the second seed. So Orlando is going to give us a tough matchup at Orlando, and we are... Oh, wow, we stole it out. You know what? We avoided game 7. We hit a last-second shot. I wonder how, what happened there, but we win it, and now we get Atlanta. So Atlanta upset Cleveland in round 2, or in round 1, I should say. But, oh, hey, Atlanta is... Or, I guess, no, they didn't trade for Jaren Jackson like I did in yesterday's video, but... Daciano's up to an 88, Riche 87, Jalen... Yeah, this is a damn good-looking team in Atlanta, so... we might have our work cut out for us here. Here goes nothing. So game 1 goes to Atlanta. Game 2, we even it up though. Game 3 goes to them. So we got a simcast game 4 to even this series, because if we go down 3-1 to this team, I don't know if we're coming back from that. So let's see if we can even the series in Atlanta. Going to be a close one. As long as we hang on to it, we tie it up. So 129-124. And now we get a massive game 5. First one at home. And then we go to Atlanta in game 6. So let's see. We can hang on to this one and win this game. And it's going to be a very close one, but I think we ran away with it. So boom, massive. And now we get 1 game away from making it to the conference finals after the Devin Booker trade. Let's see if we can make it all pay off. And it's going to be a very close game 6, but we have the lead right now. As long as we hang on, we're going to the conference finals, I should say. And it's going to be a game. Ooh, they're going to... Nope. We are hanging on to the lead, and we are going to the conference finals in the East. We either get Detroit or Toronto. Didn't Toronto just win the championship last year? So I don't even know who I'd rather play. It will be Toronto. So Toronto is going to be our matchup in the conference finals. Giddy, Grady Dick, RJ, Sabonis, Scotty Barnes. Why the hell did I say Sabonis? What the hell? Jakob Poeltl quickly, Isaiah Jackson, Dink, and then Chomchi. So it's a decent looking team. I feel like we should be able to beat them, but Toronto gives me some problems sometimes, man. So game 1 goes to them, as I said that, and they blew us out. And this was at home. We evened it up. We got to win it in Toronto once, and now we find ourselves in the same position as we were in the Atlanta series. So if we tie this up, which is kind of a something we need to do, and we take the lead here, but can we hang on to it? We do. So now it's a tie series. Basically the same situation we find ourselves in Atlanta. Now we got a game 5 at home to see if we can take an advantage in this series. We had the lead for a second, but they take it, and now we are down 6 with 6 minutes left. Gonna slow the speed down a little bit, and let's see if we can get back in this game. And it looks like we will not, unless if we make a massive run. I mean, we're getting closer, but yeah, Toronto's gonna wave for that storm, and now we find ourselves down 3-2. Having to head to Toronto to force a game 7. All right, well, this is going to be a very tough thing to do, but let's see if we can come out here and force a game 7 back to Charlotte. Backs against the wall here, no choice but to win, and it looks like we are going to force a game 7. So game 7 has been forced back to Charlotte. Can we come out here and win it is the question to get to the finals after the Devin Booker acquisition. Maybe a close game. Can we get back the lead? It's going to be very close. We might have to jump in and play this out potentially. 110 to 110. This is back and forth as can be. I'm not going to jump in with 4 minutes left, but maybe like 2 minutes left. As long as... Okay, it's a tie ball game with 3 minutes left. They take the lead, 120 to 118. All right, let me see if I can jump in and save the day to get us to the NBA Finals, because this is close, man. And it's a lot closer than I, like it to be, obviously. So we have our starting 5 out here, which is good. Let's see if I can start off here with a tie. I'm just going to... Ooh. not what I wanted to do at all. So let's give it to LaMelo. LaMelo 3. He's got quickly guarding him. I'm just going to take this to the basket. And that goes down. 120 to 120. Okay, so quickly can't guard LaMelo. Noted. Just kidding. But that was a nice first possession. At least tie it. So quickly is going to call timeout after crossing the half court. Oh, I forgot. I just noticed we don't even have Devin Booker on the floor. Is Devin Booker fouled out? Let's see. Court, starters. D-Book fouled out. Why is there always someone fouling out, man? I swear. So our trade asset or acquisition is even going to be able to play the most important game of the season in crunch time. Okay, that was very weird just what happened there. I have no idea what just happened. It looked like Salon got pushed. And then I don't even know where the other defender went. I think that was my fault. But, all right. It's fine. We're down 2. I'm going to screen from Salon. And Barnes is going to play good. He's going to leave me alone, actually. Okay, that was weird. 122 to 122. So Melo Ball has 38 points on the night. So we're going to definitely... Let's play better defense this time because that last defensive possession was horrible. All right, so Barnes, I got Salon on him. Giddey is open for a second. Ooh, I just totally folded again. But thankfully, Barnes does not hit that 3. I am playing horrendous defense right now. We got to lock in, bro. Holy moly. LaMelo Ball has Grady Dick on him. Give me another screen. Screen and roll is working so far. This is my bread and butter when I play 2K, as you guys know when you watch me play. And LaMelo Ball, I thought I had... Ooh, Salon 3? Please? No, he was open. I don't regret the shot. That was a massive offensive rebound. And now they're going to go down to Barnes. And we got to... I just don't even know what's happening on defense. Like, I must be having the wrong matchups right now. All right, well, we got to tie it again. I wouldn't regret that shot from 3. And I'm just going to take it in with LaMelo. It's not going to go down, and we are going to be... All right, so let's get back on defense, and let's make sure we actually play defense this time, because it feels like we've just let guys run wide open in the paint. Jakob Poeltl's on the perimeter right now, and that's good defense. We'll take that. And I thought he was about to grab the offensive board. You're going to go to Nick Smith in transition. Yeah, Grady Dick is even there. He's not even ready for it. 124 to 124. That was a massive transition bucket. Needed that to tie the game. All right, better defense this time. Let's lock in, man. Last defensive possession was good. Scotty Barnes is trying to make something happen here. See. And we get a steal. Wow, I didn't even press. Salon transition. Are you fast enough to get there? Screw it, I'm taking it. Foul. Oh, I would have loved the N1. But hey, it's fine. We can take the lead here with these free throws. And first free throw is going to go down. All right, we take the lead 124 to 125. That was a massive steal that we just had happen to us. And going to go both down. 124 to 126. All right, man. Let's lock in. We're doing this without D-Book on the floor as well. Barnes going to have the ball. And he's going to try to cut to the basket. And I lose him with Giddey, kind of giving him a little bit of a screen. Or a pick, or I guess, yeah, screen and pick's the same exact thing. But yeah, Giddey kind of got in my way, and I just lost him. All right, so it's a tie game again. So we got the driver. I kind of wanted to go LaMelo 3, but I'm just going to continue to attack the basket because it's been working so far. Not there. Brendan Miller, 3. RJ did not fall for the pump fake. LaMelo, I need you to save me here. And it goes down. Holy moly, that was a massive 3. 126 to 129. 17 seconds left on the clock. That was a massive 3, and it's a 3-point game. We needed that. LaMelo bail out there because that possession looked like it was going nowhere. All right. Mark Williams going to be guarding the inbound here. Jakob Poeltl's trying to get it to Grady. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Once again, he's just wide open, man. Defense has not been good. We're just leaving guys wide open, but it's all right. We got 15 seconds left to take the lead back. Let's see if I can take this clock down and take the lead here to end this off. 13 seconds left on the clock. All right, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. All right, I'm going to get a screen here now. All right, 6 seconds left. Ooh, this is going to be wide open. That's too easy. 3 seconds left. They have no timeouts. That was a massive dunk. They just lost me on defense. Scotty Barnes. He's going to take the half court heave. Imagine he would have made that. We're going to the finals. We are going to the NBA finals. That was massive. That 3 from low was massive. Giddey tied it up, though. We left him wide open. But thankfully, pick and roll for the win. Let's go see who we match up with in the finals. All right, so we either get Minnesota or New Orleans to hopefully win a championship here and end the video on a bang. I'm kind of hoping it's New Orleans, but we'll see. It is going to be the Timberwolves. So it's LaMelo Ball versus Anthony Edwards. Of course, same draft class. This will be interesting. 1 and 3 respectfully. Anthony Edwards, of course, went number 1. LaMelo went 3 behind James Wiseman. So they have Rob Dillingham, Edwards, Nick Alexander Walker, Randall, Nas Reed, McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, and Drake Powell. So this is a damn good Minnesota team, of course, we're looking at. But all of this was to get a championship. So game 1 goes to them. They beat us by 5. Game 2 goes to them. And are we going to be down? Nope. We are going to at least win game 3. If we win game 4, then the series becomes interesting again. But we got to win this one or we're going to be in a tough position. But it looks like we're going to blow them out. So no sweat. We win game 4 pretty easily. 38 from Brandon Miller to close that one. And now it's time for this game 5. This one's in Minnesota. We haven't won a game in Minnesota in the series yet. They won the first 2. And they're going to win this one as well. So we find ourselves down 3-2 to this Minnesota team. So every single time home team has won. Can we continue that trend here for this game 6? I would love to see a game 7 here to end off this video with a victory, hopefully. Gonna be a game. Oh gosh, this is close. Game 7 gonna happen. A minute 52. Do I jump in and save the day again? 117 to 116. I don't know. I might fold this time. Let's see. LaMelo's at the free throw line. Okay. All right. Let's hit these free throws so we can actually take the lead here. So that's massive. 117 to 117, and this is literally just to get to game 7. So. Gonna make both, and we get the lead. All right, so it's a 1-point game. A lot of gameplay in this one. All right, let's... Devin Booker is not fouled out this time, which is great. So having him is great. We're there. Defensively, get the rebound. Boom, that was massive. Okay, that was pretty tragic defense, but we kind of made up for it. Oh, my gosh, bro. Why did Brandon Miller slow down, dude? Oh, my gosh. I'm just being dumb, man. Lock in. We got a defensive stop, and then we backcourt violate it. It's just so stupid. I feel so dumb. I feel so mad at myself right now. I'm allowing Edwards to cut. Nickeil Alexander, hopefully he doesn't make it. He doesn't. Bailout. Okay. Let's reset things, and let's not make oh, my goodness. I honestly thought that was about to get stolen for a second. Let's slow down. Let's give this LaMelo comfortably. And let's attack the basket. That worked in the last game. Salon's giving me a screen. Devin Booker bailout 3, hopefully. And it doesn't... Oh, I thought we had an offensive rebound. All right, just get back in transition. Edwards is going to attack the basket. He's going to make it 119 and 118. All right, it's fine. Let's attack right back. They're not ready. They're celebrating. And I'm just going to take this in with LaMelo. Give me that. 120 to 119, 51 seconds left. Okay. We're playing for our playoff lives here, and we'll see if we can close this out. Anthony Edwards is going to have the ball. Devin Booker guarding him. Screen. Nope, no screen. It looked like there was about to be a screen. Edwards mid-range. We played good defense on it, and we get the stop. All right. Let's go to LaMelo here. Let's see if we can... Can I just... Okay. Salon was open for a second. Devin Booker 3. Kind of was thinking about it. But I'm glad to take the time off the clock as well. Give me a screen, Salon. Devin Booker. Can you get there? Nope, he doesn't. It's going to be a 1-point game. Oh, gosh, I'm scared. Anthony Edwards is going to attack the basket. We're double teaming, and Nasri is left wide open right now, so let's get off that. Salon. One stop, we get to a game 7. Alexander Walker. Gonna do what? We closed out on it. That was great closeout. Oh, my goodness. They're going to foul with 0.7 seconds left, and I think we're going to a game 7. Holy moly, that was massive. All right, let's make this one. And they do have a timeout, so there's technically one more possession left for them to tie it up. You know, almost would have been interesting to miss both on purpose, but I think, you know, hitting the 3 or, you know, obviously making a 3-point game probably is a better option. And now we go to a game 7 as long as we don't allow them to tie it up here with 0.7 left in the clock. I mean, I doubt it. I'm just going to make sure Edwards doesn't get the ball. Like, that's where I'm... And... Okay, there. He didn't get it off in time. Okay. Holy moly, he made that. Even with me right in his face. But all right, we're going to a game 7. So let's get to the game 7, and let's see if we can end off this video with bringing a championship. I think I'm going to end it off regardless of what happens here, just because we've committed to this, basically. At least give me a close game. At least give us a close game to end off the video. Or you know what? Blow them out. That'd be even better. If we can end off the video with no sweat championship. But of course, it's not going to be the case. It's going to be a close game, and they're gonna beat us here. Oh my gosh, we really got that close just to lose like that. I mean, I'm going to go one more season. I'm not going to do any offseason moves. We're just going to snap right back to the playoffs. That's heartbreaking, dude. That's so heartbreaking. I won't jump in at all next year. Heartbreaking way to lose that. But one more chance. We'll see if we win it next year. So running back for this final season as we only get the third seed in the East this time around, but 22 points from LaMelo, 20 points from Devin Booker, and 19 from Brandon Miller, 14 from Nick Smith. So got to the finals last year and lost by a game, as we all remember. And now I draw the Brooklyn Nets. I won't jump in at all because I don't want this video to be too terribly long. So we get Lonzo. So LaMelo versus his brother is entertaining, but somebody come around against Brooklyn. And we're going to beat them in 6. All right, so now for Toronto. Minnesota is nowhere to be found this time around, which is just ironic. But now we get Toronto. We did beat last year, but I did have to jump in to save the day. So there's no guarantee we beat this team. And there it is. So yeah, our chance to win the championship was last year, and we fall short of our goal of doing so. Minnesota edged us out, and we just missed out on our opportunity. Toronto, for whatever reason, man, just, you know, really good in the simulation in 2K, I've noticed. But hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. I think we're in a little bit of a rut as far as winning a championship. I could be wrong. We might have won one this week. Or I'm sure we won one this week, but I remember yesterday we didn't get one, and I don't know if today we did either. But it happens, man. Especially when I rebuild in the style that I rebuild. You know, of course, or these realistic rebuild styles, or trying to stay as realistic as I possibly can. Sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Of course, I could come on here and trade for every 90 overall possible easily and win every day, but I like doing it this way instead. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. My daughter's turning 2 today, as you guys are seeing this, so that's fun. So I'll be spending all weekend with her. And thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.